Hello.
What's up, Jake?
What's up, Josh?
Man, I signed up for another competition.
Another one.
Yeah, I signed up because I have so much travel in the fall that I don't know. It'll probably be pretty tough for me to do one in the fall. And then, or if there is one that I can actually show up for, I'll just have so much time traveling that I don't think I'll be able to train as much. Anyway, yeah. So I'm 3 weeks out basically from this one. And just thinking about how to treat the next 3 weeks. And so, yeah, I figured we could just shoot the shit a little bit and explore this idea about competition prep for, I know we've done this kind of episode a handful of times before, but yeah, I guess we can see what the
Do you
latest.
know, like how many people are signed up? What division is it? Like that type of
Yeah.
thing?
Yeah. So I ended up going for the Masters division. It's Masters Nogi beginner under 160. And I weighed myself yesterday. I think I was like 151. So I'm a little light right now. And then last I checked, there were four guys, including me, in the division. So I think
Mm,
it's maximum like two matches. I think.
gotcha.
Um, yeah, there's like some older dudes in there. Like I think 38 years old was the oldest guy. Yeah,
So
it
they're
was.
gonna have that man strength, and they're gonna be heavier than you.
They're gonna have, yeah, exactly, and possibly some TRT. We'll see what happens.
Better
Um,
practice your Kimura defense last time.
oh yeah, so there's four of us: 39 years old, 35, 38, and then me at 31. So hey, who knows? Maybe they see the 31 and now they're all scared.
Yeah, this young gun.
This young gun. No, I don't know. Uh, we'll see what happens.
Cool. How are you feeling?
Um, I don't know. Maybe 5, 6 weeks ago is when I saw this on the calendar, like, ooh, do I want to sign up for it? And at that time, I was kind of dreading it. Like, I really don't want to. I was kind of feeling lazy. Like, jujitsu is so fun when you don't have a competition ahead of you.
Mm,
And then something just changed, and I was like, screw it. Let's just do masters. I don't know. It's a weird story that's in my head of like the adults are kind of scary. And so, screw it. Let's do masters. We're all working people, have lives outside of jujitsu, I'm sure. Maybe that's just an assumption, but whatever. Yeah, something changed along the way, and maybe I'm not taking it as seriously. And so, plus thinking that I might not get to compete again this year, and my goal was to do it like 2 to 4 times a year.
mm.
And so this would be my second one this year. So yeah, all that came together. I'm feeling okay. I think I just want to treat the next few weeks well, and yeah, focus on a couple of things, I guess.
What are you thinking you need to focus on before the comp?
Yeah, so I think one thing is most of my training now has been like these eco small group classes. And so I
Mm,
haven't been doing a lot of just rounds, just regular rounds. And I think I need to do more regular rounds for
mm,
sure and just get back to the pace of a regular round. Because in these small games, it's like each game is, I don't know, a couple minutes, 3 minutes, and you have a very small task to do. And so it's pretty urgent. You're like trying to accomplish a task. And then maybe I'll go to one regular class where I do some rounds and I just gas myself out. I think I'm just like trying to accomplish the thing like in every position, like try to win all the time. So I think I need to like find that groove again about when is it okay to like go for stuff and when is it okay to actually not expend so much energy.
mm.
So I think that's one thing, more rounds. And then I'm thinking about a couple positions. Like I'm probably going to pull guard. I don't know if I want to wrestle. And
Mhm.
so I think I'm going to practice pulling guard and immediately getting on top via wrestle up. And then maybe practice a quote unquote worst case scenario. Like if I do get past turtling and trying to find a way back on top or regarding somehow. And so I'm thinking those are the two areas that I want to work on. Um, yeah.
Cool.
So I guess something on the good side, like hope this happens. And then something like if I am not able to get up on top and they pass, a way to find my way back on top.
We kind of talked about this last time. Remember when I was talking or showing you the example of PJ getting to that collar tie and underhook while seated and then wrestling
Oh,
up with
yeah.
like a dominant grip? So I just entered the Ryan Aiken Roberto Jimenez match, and you can see they're seated, and then he takes that collar tie underhook grip and then stands with it, takes a second underhook, and then pulls guard with like really good connection and is immediately like under the hips, you know?
Yeah.
So, um, yeah, I like this as a guard pulling strategy in the sense that like you're pulling guard, but you're also like trying to grip fight to get to advantageous grips for giving you the ability to stand up if they're not allowing you to get access to their legs. Cause like for the first like 3 minutes of the match, Roberto's kind of like dancing around, not committing too much of his weight. It's very hard to connect to them. So connect to their upper body, wrestle up where you already have like good connections, and then pull again with those connections. I think this is a good strategy.
Yeah, I don't think I've have a lot of experience pulling with good connections. I think I just
Mhm.
like make contact and then just pull guard, just sit down. Um, so yeah, I think that'll be something good to practice.
Yeah. Maybe this would be something to ask Andres too. Like, what grips would you recommend before I pull guard? And then you might look to achieve those grips when you're standing grip fighting. But if your strategy is to pull, you could also look for those grips while you're seated, stand up, and then pull again, you know?
Right,
So,
right.
like, yeah, I think just having some sort of like goal where you're like, I like these grips when I pull, this would be like a good like strategy, I think, to have going in.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, so yeah, that initial engagement, pulling guard effectively, and then immediately going into some kind of off balance or some way to get up on top.
Right.
So yeah, I think that's a good way to approach like the open rounds after class. Like tonight, I'm gonna go to class and do a handful of rounds. And then from there, I'm thinking to practice the opposite side of like if I do get past,
Mm.
what's my strategy from there? Do you think that's a general good approach? Like practice your best case scenario and then maybe your worst case scenario?
Yeah, I mean, the classic like advice Gordon and all them give is like, if you're comfortable in the worst case scenario, then you're not going to be gun shy when you're going for your offense because
Right.
you're confident you can get out. So, um, yeah, I think this is a very good strategy.
Okay. So yeah, that's getting past and turtling. And then what usually happens right now is from turtle, I'm fighting them trying to take my back.
Mhm.
And I'm getting put to a hip on one side, the other side. Sometimes I get one hook in. Some worst case, they get two and they start to actually take my back. But there's a lot of that in between where they have one hook or maybe they're fighting for hooks.
Mm.
And I might have the wrong mindset because I think my goal is just like somehow scramble and get on top. But maybe I'm skipping some steps and should be thinking about regarding as another option.
Yeah. So let me see if I could find some examples here. So, what I've been thinking a lot about from Turtle is trying to get like outside of their knees. So, like when they have me in between their knees, I'm trying to just like use movement to get outside their knees. So you'll notice like Craig's been doing this escape a lot from Turtle where he like hugs the leg and then rolls over his shoulder.
Dude, that's the
Let me
one
see.
escape that I've been spamming from Turtle.
Right. But it only works if you can get outside their knees. So
Yeah, yeah.
you could see he rolls, but then dude keeps his knee on top. So Craig's
Yes.
not able to get inside of it. But then when Craig returns to Turtle, now he's way over the top. And then Craig reaches for that collar tie. I don't know if you remember, like we talked about
Yeah,
this before. He
yeah.
reaches for that collar tie and then breaks him off to the top. So another example that I really liked was so here, same idea, right? Like Fabricio rolls over his shoulder, looking to like recover back to guard. But Pedro does a good job of staying behind his knees. So now basically if Fabricio were to continue to move back to his back, he would accept the pin and bottom side control and give up points. So he comes back to his knees, but immediately when he gets back to his knees, he's outside of the knees and he's immediately building height. So I like this idea of like trying to get outside the knees. And generally it's hard to do when you're static and you're just trying to like push their knees or whatever to get behind. But by threatening to go to guard, threatening to do like some sort of like roll over your shoulder, this type of thing, it's just to get them to follow you enough. So when you return to turtle, now you're outside their knees and now you're reaching up for their head. Now you're like standing up to 4 point, this type of thing, and you're starting to escape. So this is what I found helpful when I'm defending from turtle. Um, yeah.
Yeah, the top guy from Turtle, it seems like the main objective for the top guy is to either get their hooks in and take the back or break you down to a hip and start
Mm.
to pin. Do you ever see guys go from Turtle to front headlock? Or is that kind of like off to the side? It's not usually like a main goal.
Usually when that happens, I think they're doing it to go into that, like, seated katagatame type thing. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Lost me
Yeah.
at the Japanese words.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. 1 second.
Is that like a arm in is that like a arm in guillotine?
See if I can find an example. So, yeah, okay. So, this, I don't think it doesn't work, but, like, you can see they start in turtle,
Yeah.
and then PJ takes his arm around the head
Mhm.
and then basically goes back into the front headlock to start threatening like a guillotine. And then Eddie like puts his back, or Ben Eddie puts his back on the mat, and then PJ goes to the, not back on the mat, but like sprawls out, to
Yeah.
defend the guillotine. Um, this might be a better one. So he's trying to break him down from turtle, and then this arm goes to the other side, and then you basically go back into the front headlock, and they call this a seated katagatame, where it's basically like a guillotine, but their arm isn't on this hip over here. It's still
Mhm.
on the near hip. So like a katagatame is like an arm triangle or a darce or an anaconda where you have like one arm and their neck in the party.
Oh, I see, I see.
So this finishing mechanic is more like a katagatame instead of a guillotine. So they call it a seated katagatame because you
Gotcha.
tend to grab it and like sit down
Gotcha.
and finish. So this is when I see people like backtracking from like turtle into front headlock to go for something like this.
Yeah.
But I don't think I see it too often where people go from turtle to like, I'm just going to go back to a standard front headlock. The only person
Yeah.
I've seen do this is Dorian Oliveras, but I think it's just because like he like can't sit still in one position for too long. Just like, yeah.
Yeah.
And he's also extremely good at finishing from the front headlock. So, um, yeah, and like rule sets like CJI could definitely see this being something that he does where he just tries to get to the front headlock.
Right.
So
Okay.
especially
So
against bigger people, like if you take their back, it can be hard to finish them. Whereas like from a front headlock, you just got to wrap their neck and then you got a guillotine. So yeah, especially against bigger people, I might be a good strategy.
that's interesting. So is that right from turtle? Most people are trying to either get their hooks in immediately or break you down to hip to pin you or take your back from there or mount you from there.
I think so.
Okay. Yeah, yeah. And in order for them to do that, keeping you between their knees is I guess is keeping them between your knees more for the taking the back than for the pinning?
Yeah, I think it's more for like when they go to roll, you're still able to follow them,
Mhm.
you know?
Mhm.
Whereas if they roll and you're not in between the knees, then they could potentially like roll you over.
Yeah.
Um, so yeah, I think it's just more about like being able to continue to chase the back regardless of where they decide to go. If they start to
Yeah.
build base, you're in position to insert either hook. If they try and roll, you're still have them in between your knees, and you can insert your hooks and follow their rolls.
Yeah, I forgot where I saw this, but it was like, if you're in turtle and you have like a really wide base, like your knees are really wide, it's harder to like tip you over, but easier to
Right.
get hooks in. So as the bottom player, how do you deal with that dilemma of knowing when to widen out versus when to
Yeah.
get the
Contract.
yeah,
The,
yeah.
the contraction versus extension dilemma.
Exactly.
Yeah. This is interesting. Like I don't know if I necessarily know the best answer to this, but like I said, I've been more focused on keeping them like staying outside their knees. So like even if they do insert one hook, if they can't keep their other knee on your hip, they're gonna fall off on the other side if you start to stand up.
Mhm.
So I think just at least my main thought hasn't necessarily been like when should I be contracted versus extended. It's been more about like how do I get outside of their knees. And yeah, like this has been my thought. So I don't know if I necessarily have like the best answer for that.
Yeah, yeah, I think it's got I gotta figure it out, uh, in some with some games or something like that. Maybe there could be a good game of where bottom guy starts in turtle, top guy starts without hooks, like kinda seatbelt or double unders or something,
Mhm.
and then the top guy tries to score with taking, hooks by getting hooks in, and then the bottom guy hmm, tries to stand up and disconnect or get their guard back.
Yeah, so I played a similar game to this, when I was working on the outside camping stuff because, like, when you're on top in turtle and they throw their back to the mat, as long as you can kinda, like, stay behind their knees, you're either gonna end up in side control, and if they escape side control, you're right into outside camping. So at least what I did was the win condition for the top person was you get to any sort of like top pinning position, like north, south, side control, mount, or you take the back. So there has to be a consequence if the defender puts their back on the mat. The other way you could limit it is just saying like the defender's not allowed to roll to guard. They have to like build base. And then you don't have to make that a win condition. You can just say
Mhm.
like take the back. But yeah, this is the way I structured it.
Yeah, yeah. Okay. I think I'm gonna just do some turtle rounds tonight. Maybe towards the later end of class when I'm tired. Remember when you went to uh, Danaher's gym? Did they do a lot of turtle rounds? Is that something I heard
Yeah, every
somewhere
day.
that they?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. How do they do it?
It's just like positional sparring from turtle,
Okay.
and basically, like, the win condition is a back take or a submission, and the, game just, like, keeps going if you end up actually, back take doesn't even win, it's just submission. So, the game basically just keeps going until the person, like, recovers a functional guard. So, like, if you end up in, like, chest, chest, half guard, it keeps going.
Mhm.
Um, so yeah, this is how they structured it. But just like submit or the person recovers guard, and then you just switch roles and go again.
Gotcha. Okay. So that way, if you recover guard, they didn't want it to turn into like a passing game,
Yeah,
essentially.
because the next game's a passing game.
Oh,
Yeah,
interesting.
yeah.
Okay.
The next one starts from open guard.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah. And was it like a pass or sweep type of thing? Or
it was a. I'm pretty sure it's like I don't remember, to be honest. I don't remember if it's just like top person submits or if it's like they just have to pass. But the bottom person just had to sweep.
got it. Okay.
Mhm.
So at the end of class, they just did a few positional rounds before open rounds, right?
It
Every day,
was
same ones.
So there was no open rounds. It was mount, turtle, and open guard,
Oh wow.
and that was the end of class.
Dang. And that was the end of class.
Yeah,
Oh shoot. Okay. It was mount, turtle, and open guard. Interesting.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I think I need to do a lot more turtle rounds.
But we
Um,
actually did a single leg round too. So it was mount, and I think he did the single leg at the end. Yes, I remember this because he was talking about how like when the match is on the line and you need a takedown, like this is when you need to be able to score. So he wanted you to be practicing takedowns when you're most exhausted. So basically, you would start in a single leg, both people kneeling, and the person just has a grip on the leg, and then you just say go. And if a person like disengages, they win, and if you put the person down, then you win. And this was absolutely exhausting because, like with the open guard ones, or like the turtle ones, it would be like you roll to your back and then you get to like get pinned in side control a bit, but like then you can maybe like chill, take a break in side control while they're trying to like do their thing. But for the single leg, it's like there's no break. It's like you're going, and then as soon as someone like completes takedown, you just start again, or as soon as someone disengages, you start again. There's like no rest period. So, yeah, doing this like when you were already very tired was extremely good cardio. For
dang. And do you remember how many minutes those rounds were, or do they not use a timer there? And
Yeah, there's no timer.
that sucks. You don't even know when it's gonna end.
Yeah, I'm trying to think if like I had to guess. This was a while ago now. Starting to get a little blurry. If I had to guess, maybe it was like 7 minutes.
That's pretty long.
Yeah, it was pretty long.
That's pretty long to do a lot of rounds like that, like
Yeah,
single
because
leg
I
situation.
think it was like a half hour total, and there was like 4 things that we did,
Yeah, yeah.
But I think it was probably around like 7 minutes.
Damn. That actually is a nice segue into the third topic of things I think I need to work on is just that cardio. And the piece that comes with it is I wrote it down the other day. I think it was like learning how to put effort in when you're exhausted. Because my last competition, like who I was in my head first match and second match, so different. You know, you go into your second match. I went into my second match just like all these doubts, not trying enough, wanting to reserve energy, you know, like way different than going into the first one. And so that's actually pretty interesting that he puts that the hardest one at the end of class. I think there's probably an element of not only are you working that skill of taking people down when you're exhausted, but there's like this mental piece to it, I think, of
Right.
having to do something very difficult when you're very, very tired.
Yep.
So I think that's another thing I need to work on in these open round type of things. We get one
Right.
minute break and you're just going back into it because I can
Y-
get lazy, you know, just chill in bottom turtle a lot of times. And
Yep.
yeah,
And I think like going back to what you said at the beginning, how the pacing plays a pretty important role in all of it. So yeah, I think your head's in the right space. Like pace yourself, but also be like prepared if you when you do get tired.
yeah,
So yeah, I think the roadmap is good
yeah,
for
yeah.
your next few weeks.
Cool. I think there's three things. One is learning how to pull guard effectively and go straight into offense. The second is bottom turtle, just do a bunch of positional work from there. And then the third is work on that competitiveness and effort when I'm exhausted. And that'll help
Mhm.
with these open rounds. So yeah, I think tonight I'll just pull guard my first like 3 rounds and then ask the last two people if they could just positional spar from turtle for me.
Mhm.
I think I'll do that.
Cool. Any like submission wise, is it just like get to the back kind of thing?
Oh man, if I get to there, just stall it out, ride it out. No, I don't know actually.
Pacing. It's called pacing, not
Yeah, yeah,
stalling.
pacing. We're gonna pace ourselves, save energy for the next match. No, yeah, I thought about it. If I get to mount, I'll probably go for the arm triangle,
Mm.
and then back probably the rear naked choke. Um, but dude, attacking that rear naked choke over and over is like pretty tiring. But yeah, I guess
Yeah.
you have to go for it though. I mean,
Yeah.
right? You have to go for it. You can't just stall out, right? I don't know. I'll see how I feel. I would like to say I'm going to go for it, but who knows what's going to happen. Maybe I just need to first get better at winning. You know, I've been losing a lot. So asking for, I'll try my best. You know what? I'll just do my best when it comes to submissions.
Let me show you this grip fighting sequence. I
Hmm.
thought it was so cool. Um and yeah, we could cut it if we want to. I'm gonna make a newsletter about it.
Yeah.
Um but yeah. And I'm actually gonna film, I think like a little like exclusive video that I'm gonna
Ooh,
post on the thing with some grip fighting stuff I've been doing on the
nice.
back. But like so overhook side,
Hmm.
dude grabs primary defensive hand on your strangle arm, right? So, like, one thing I've been focusing a lot on is just like elbow position from like, you can compromise their elbow position by like pushing their elbow down or bringing it up kind of thing. But also just like focusing on bringing your elbow in a good position for a rear naked choke, even if you can't bring your wrist in. So, watching this, it blew my mind. So, underhook side, primary defensive hand in place. He goes wrist up so his elbow can come forward on this side. So now his elbow's in good position. But dude still has this grip in place. So he needs a way to break this grip. So then he goes double overhooks. Guy grabs his hand. So when I've been doing this in class, a lot of people just don't grab my hand. And I've just been doing that like neck pummeling thing and going in for the choke with this one. So when they do grab your hand though, you just do the same exact thing on this side. You go, oh, sorry, get too excited. You go wrist up so your elbow can come forward, right? And then now your forearm is in front of their forearm, and you can use this to pry off their grip on your bottom arm. And then you break the grip on your bottom arm and then lock up the choke. This is just disgusting. It
Whoa,
is.
can you play that again in like slow motion?
Yeah, see. So he goes wrist up so his elbow can come forward to
Yeah.
take good position there. He takes his hand out, wrist up, elbow forward to get his
Oh,
top
I
elbow in
see.
good position, pries off his grip, and then goes for the strangle.
Wow,
Because
okay.
basically, you get your elbow in good position, so as soon as you break their grip, you're ready to lock it up. Um, and you could see like I don't want to go back 5 7. Oh, we'll go back and watch it again. Um, but I've not far enough. So you could see. once he breaks the grip,
Yeah.
the hand can kind of get stuck in the armpit
Mm.
sometimes, which is not the end of the world. Like it's still a pretty good spot. Your elbow is like super deep. You just need to free your hand from the armpit. So this is the um, like one thing. Like if I don't go straight for the rear naked choke because I can't get there, it just goes to the armpit and then you free it from the armpit and then choke them. But yeah, I've loved this, especially if you can lock a body triangle because it gives you the security to go double overhooks. You know.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Oh, yeah, dude, this is interesting. I wonder if we have talked about this. I don't remember, but, yeah, it's interesting to think because every time I go for the rear naked choke, I try to get my hand first under the chin, then get the elbow across. But this seems like the other way. You can get your elbow there first and then find a way to free your hand to
yeah.
lock up the choke.
Getting under the chin is overrated. Yeah.
Jake is a menace now. I think a year ago on this podcast, Jake was like, "Nah, yeah, I don't like being mean. I'll just, get under the chin, have it nice." Now you're like, "It's overrated."
Yeah, I've just found like from the underhook side, especially. Well, from the overhook side, it's basically impossible unless they're being like really nice because your elbow like runs into the mat, so you can't like get there. I tend to do like the Gordon one where he like just like goes up and down like this to get under. So from the underhook side, when you're trying to get behind, you just have to sacrifice so much control over their top shoulder. And then when you're trying to do that, they go turning escape because you're not heavy on the shoulder at all. So I've recently just been like, take grab my arm so I can go elbow or wrist up, elbow forward, get my elbow like in front of your shoulder. And then now I just need a way to break your grip. And then just go like over your chin, or it gets like close, and then you do like this type of thing to get under it. But I've really gone away from the idea of like trying to get behind their chin and like finger walk and do all this stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So do you just finish across the jaw a lot nowadays?
Recently I've been, yeah. I give them fair warning though, because I'll just say, like, especially like when they have their hand in and they think
Yeah,
they're
yeah.
good, I'll like lock it up and then I'll just say like, "Are you ready?" And then they'll be like, "Oh," and then I'll just like start squeezing like slowly, um, and then they tap usually pretty quick. But yeah,
Dude,
it's
the other
tough.
day, okay, so when I'm on the back, then usually the way I get the rear naked choke is by the arm switch, and it is nice and clean. It's under the chin. It's nice. Um, so I haven't been playing around with this stuff as of late. Maybe I will though. But dude, the other day I locked up a rear naked choke under the chin, everything, and the guy had just had double hands in like this,
Mm,
and I just couldn't figure out the mechanics. I just could not finish the rear naked choke.
mm,
I'm just not sure exactly what I was doing wrong. I was thinking about expanding my chest. I had a body triangle. I was like pushing down with my legs, and then I was trying to rotate it as well. And for some reason, it just wasn't
mm.
happening. Um, yeah, I don't know if that's something you'd be able to help over video call, but
Yeah.
yeah,
I mean, it might just be like a squeeze thing, like maybe you just need to practice your squeeze.
yeah.
One thing I like consciously think about whenever I'm doing a rear naked choke is I'm trying to whatever arm I'm choking with, I'm just trying to drive that elbow like down into their chest. So the idea is like when you start to rotate, you actually don't want your arm to rotate, you know? Like when you rotate your whole body, it just like rotates their body, if that makes sense. So your elbow should like barely slide across their chest, if anything. So the way you do that is you just like anchor it down into their chest and you're just like driving your elbow like down into their chest. And then you engage your back. You can bridge in if you want. And then you start that rotational aspect of it. But yeah, I think it becomes more effective when you focus on like driving your elbow down.
Oh, dude, I never thought about driving my elbow down. I always thought of like squeezing or something. So let's say you're choking them with your right arm. You get that grip under their chin as deep as you can. You're driving your own elbow down towards your chest.
Mhm.
Well, let's say you have the other arm that locked in as well. And then you're rotating your whole body.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mm,
So your
okay.
elbow should move like very little to the
I
eye.
see. I
Yeah.
see.
Mhm.
Oh, you're rotating your body, but you're leaving your elbow there.
Well, you're rotating your elbow, like, you're the mechanics are the same, so, like, if you weren't anchored to anything, yeah, but the anchor pressure of your elbow just causes, like, everything to move, so, like, your elbow actually doesn't visually move very much,
Yeah, yeah,
but
yeah.
when you're applying that, like, rotational force,
Right, when you're rotating your body and head and elbows all rotating together, like when you're putting or something.
Exactly.
Okay, makes sense.
Yeah,
Cool,
cool.
okay. Yeah, I totally was doing it wrong. I thought it was, like, pulling your elbow across, but that it was not
Yeah,
the way.
yeah. Was the guy much bigger than you, or this bro?
Smaller, much like, skinny, just like me, so maybe I needed to and I have long arms, maybe I had to get deeper, I'm not exactly sure. Yeah. Yeah, it was interesting.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Yeah. Another thing to maybe consider is like sometimes when you're doing, Gordon talked about this in one of his recent videos, but like sometimes when you're doing a rear naked choke, your grip can be like relatively loose on your bicep, or it could just be the case there's like a lot of space in here. So basically, to close this off, if you bring your elbows together, now you can take a much deeper grip and you close off the space. So, like the order of operations, at least for me, is like basically I get my arm like anchored onto their shoulder and then I lock it up and then I bring my elbows together to make sure I have like a really secure grip. I bring my elbow down into their chest and then I say, are you ready? And then I squeeze. But yeah, this has been what I think about as far as finishing mechanics.
Okay. Okay, that is super helpful. Alright. Yeah, good things to keep in mind for tonight.
Cool.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah, it'll be
Thanks,
good when
James.
you're attacking from turtle. Um, you could try and do this, and then
That's
defend
right.
from turtle. Try and do your
That's
defense.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Looking forward to the competition. I have not had a competition where I feel like, "Oh, I got to just, like, do jujitsu." Like, I got to just, like, do a bunch of jujitsu that I like to do. It's never felt that way, and so I'm hoping to have some better footage we can look at in a few weeks.
Cool.
Yeah.
Sounds good.
Thanks.
Later,
See ya.
Josh.